All right, there were 13 players within 3 shots of Xander Schauffele. You see all those players there at 12 under. Let's focus on that group. And John, let me start with you. The player you think, and again, this is a challenge because they're all capable, but who are you looking at?
There's certainly a lot of wins behind Xander Schauffele, and I was on Colin Morikawa last weekend, if you remember. He was my under-the-radar guy. I just thought that his golf game would fit around Colonial, and he's done it with short game really this week. He hasn't ball struck tremendous yet this week, but he hit a good shot at 16 to finish the day, a beautiful shot here at 17 for another birdie. Like I said, his short game has kept him close. He could have that one round today where everything falls together. This golf course fits him perfectly, a lot like Xander Schauffele, kind of puts the golf ball around the golf course. I think that Colin Morikawa, if he gets that round, that everything fits together, he could win this golf tournament.
You know, Gary, I look at Jordan Spieth, and not necessarily as the guy who I think is the best chance of winning, but I do feel that he's going to take a great deal of confidence from this week. You know, he had done the work over these last 3 months in a way that he's got to feel satisfied now that he's on the right track. And he's driving the ball well, which I think is the huge thing for him, because he was dropping down 202 in total in strokes gained driving last year. It was looking like he maybe even was, bordering on the driver yips, which can be a career, killer. But he's found it in a nice way. His swing looks like it's more on plane, and his ball flight really is penetrating. He's hitting it quite long, along with straight. And of course, Jordan has that intangible, sort of ability to come back from bad shots. Right now, there's more bad shots in there because he's still building some things into his golf swing, and it showed on his short irons. But man, as John was mentioning, some of his scrambling is just genius. That shot on 17 reminded me of the shot he hit when he won the Masters in 2015 on Saturday from behind that bunker. It was the same kind of downhill lie, total nerve. I mean, the way to miss that shot could have been so extreme, and yet he got it up and down and kept his round going. I think he's got to take confidence from that. Whatever happens today, I think he's going to feel good about what he's accomplished, and maybe that freedom to just say, I'll take whatever I get, will get some of the tightness out of there today, and he'll go back to being a closer again.
Jaime, I think it's interesting when you think about Jordan Spieth. It's kind of the same way with Rory McIlroy. With Rory McIlroy, there's an unease when you watch him over a 5-foot putt. With Jordan Spieth, there was an unease when you see him standing on the tee on a tight hole. And the drive that he hit yesterday on 15, when he took it right down the tree line and the out-of-bounds line and then drew it back into the middle of fairway long, as you mentioned, was very impressive. Another player that I think I want to keep an eye on is Brandon Grace. Ben Hogan said that golf is a game of misses, and whoever misses the best wins. Well, he missed a lot. He only hit 4 fairways yesterday. But remember, this is the guy that shot the 62 at the Open at Royal Birkdale. This is the guy that shot the 62 in the final round to win a tournament, obviously very important to him, at the South African Open. He's been on a pretty good run with finishes such as that victory. Funny thing is, though, is unlike almost everybody else at the top of this leaderboard, Gary, Brandon Grace admitted he played maybe 4 times during the lockdown. He's got a young family at home, so he came in with expectations very, very low, and yet he's exceeding his own expectations. Maybe it's that lack of expectation that's carried him as yet. He has admitted that he expects today to be a grind.
Yeah, he's also leaned on a very hot putter. He made almost 125 feet of putts yesterday, just under 300 feet of putts for the week. All these guys, it's so interesting. By the way, Spieth, really, I'm not a Packer fan, I'm a Giant fan. He reminds me of Favre. Like when the game's over, you're like, oh God, we survived. He threw that late pick, but somehow he got into the end zone. He is a great ride when it's over. Now, I'm going to go back to the guy who you don't necessarily look at as somebody who is a great scrambler, somebody who uses a lot of ingenuity, but Justin Thomas has done just that this week. He is tied for 63rd in fairways hit. He's only hit 18 fairways, yet he's a shot back. He's number 1 in scrambling. I know that you alluded to the fact that Spieth said he doesn't have his A game, nor does Justin Thomas. A guy who's got 12 wins. If he wins this week on a golf course he's never played on in competition before in this field, it shows you that he is as good as anybody, because he hadn't had his best